I am here with the incredible Sarah Foss from AUDACY. Sarah, thank you so much for coming by the Verizon booth to visit with us today.
Of course, thank you for having me, and it's in a great spot with lots of good stuff that we're going to be looking at anyway.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so you've been walking around on the floor, and what have you seen so far that you have liked?
For us at AUDACY right now, we're really focusing on virtualization of a lot of our broadcast infrastructure, which is all about how we're actually moving forward with digital transformation and initiatives like our Station of the Future, which of course, Erin Rose, you've heard a lot about. So as we're walking the show floor, we're checking in with people in production, checking in with folks with broadcast management solutions, folks like yourself with 5G, just so we have a sense of how the entire ecosystem is evolving and how we can continue to take some of those new solutions and put them in incrementally while we also are radically changing some of our workflows and processes.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, and so that is your studio of the future.
Correct, correct.
That's great.
Which I think a lot of people assume because of COVID and just having people do production in their living room that is a station of the future. Okay, not quite. When we talk about that, we really think about how a talent anywhere can also be sending multiple different types of formats to different distribution streams simultaneously, and how those distribution platforms can take that content and do the things that we need to there, whether it's dynamic ad insertion, applying some of the AI, thinking about the geographic targeting, thinking about and also just getting it to a good old-fashioned transmitter so someone can play it in their car.
Yeah, no, I think that's such an amazing point, because right now we are on this precipice of transformation, right? When we're leveraging AI, when we're looking at personalized content, it's like so incredibly exciting. And with what you do at AUDACY, especially because your niche is so focused on sports, right? Like, I would say, do you think that's fair to say?
Absolutely. For us, since we still have so much local content that is live, sports and news, we really believe that AI is actually going to amp that up, take it to the next level, and then with all the transformation we've done with our streaming platform, that personalization, Erin Rose, really is allowing our listeners to control their experience with all of the different content that not only AUDACY has, but also our affiliates. So we're seeing how much of a difference it's making.
Yeah, and it's so exciting, because I think, you know, when you're looking at that technology and you're enabling that personalization, we're now at that point where it can actually be in real time. So as before, you know, some of that personalization you had to do in a little bit of time, like you couldn't do it real time, but because you're doing live content and because where we're at with AI, we're very close. We're very close, I would say almost like seconds away, right, from having that real-time personalization.
Not only that, but that interactivity that I think consumers are expecting from any type of digital content. Video, audio, podcasting, doesn't matter. What we know is people still love having things live. They love engaging with other listeners, with the talent. But to your point, they want to do it with a lot of the personalization that they're expecting and they've had from other different types of services. And so we're really connecting those dots through Studio of the Future at AUDACY, so that our talent and our production staff and our brand managers all have technology, really a sail behind their wind, you know, the wind behind their sails, so that their digital transformation creates better and more robust content.
So one of the things that we were just talking about before we started talking, because I think we can always just talk. We can talk a long time.
We can talk a long time.
Is that one of the things is that merge of technology and creative, and like how we're looking at that. And I was talking to Jane Sung earlier today from Cinedeck, and she had such a great soundbite, I thought, about how AI is going to enable creatives to be more creative, and in that regard, also enable those technologists to focus more on that technology piece. And so, but you mentioned something before we even started talking right now that I think like brings in the added layer of what is actually needed to bridge that, right?
For me, technology is such a foundation for any media and entertainment company now, right? I mean, we have to leverage it. Whether it's things like what you have here at Verizon, or AI, or thinking future in the metaverse, it doesn't matter. Technology is going to, what I consider, to unleash where our creative people are going to come from, right? But we've got to also temper that with people who can then marry that to business, make sure that those of us who are for-profit businesses have services
Yes.
that listeners or viewers still want to be able to enjoy from us as M&E companies. And so I think it's really now seeing the triangle, creative content, foundation of technology, and then really innovative business models, connecting those things together. That's how digital transformation is going to actually work for companies. If you are missing one of those pieces, then I think you're going to miss out on digital transformation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I think that was so well said. That's so well said, because I think, you still are looking at that business strategy. And so when you're thinking about how are you going to enable your business to grow, you're having to have that person or that role or that role that's overlooking both of those creative and technology pieces to say to the business, to say to your consumers, is this working? Is this going to facilitate growth?
That's exactly right, because consumer preferences are changing so fast. We know they still love their sports. They still want their news. They still want local traffic. They still want to listen to the music that actually makes them happy and gets them up in the morning. All of those things still exist, but their expectation of how those things are going to be given to them or exposed to them on digital platforms changing so fast, Erin Rose.
So fast.
And so if we don't have that same type of business strategy and that unleashed creative at the same time, I think we miss the windows, and listeners and viewers are going to go to where they find the stuff that they want. We at AUDACY believe through interactive radio, we want to keep them with us because we believe in our content.
As you should. It's good content. It's good content. Now, I think one of the things that you're also looking at with AUDACY, which I think is really interesting, is around that sports betting, right? And so I would love for you to talk a little bit about that, because I think that's really interesting, and that's becoming forefront in terms of what people are looking at in that sports world.
When you marry together all of the local sports that we have, the national sports that we have, when we acquired BetQL, the idea was, again, that interactivity. How could our listeners who do like to bet take on some of the local content, listen to that sports radio, but then turn that into some material financial benefit for them through the app? And so we've connected those with our digital streaming platform, with the BetQL platform, so people really can go find additional statistics on what is going to be the best bet for what they're interested in betting on at that moment. That was a lot of bets I had in there.
But you did it. You did it. It was great. It was great.
Again, interactivity, because if you're hearing your favorite talent really talk about the Phillies right now and all of the things that they need to do. Use the home team. Use the home team. But if you think then about what they actually want to bet on, maybe when Bryce Harper is going to be coming back, that's what BetQL, I know, for example.
Just throwing that out there. I mean.
But if you think of that being available at BetQL and then working with our partners like FanDuel or MGM Grand, those are things now that, again, a listener is expecting. Technology is going to help them do that faster when they want to do it and seamlessly across all the different platforms that they hear our content from.
Yeah. Well, that is so great. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for coming out here and visiting with us. That was so great. What a great conversation.